The Witch Chronicles, The Tempest, written by Desmond Lynch. I hated this place the moment I stepped off the ship. The sea was bitter and cruel, and yet being here made me yearn for it. Carion, this god-forsaken island off the continent, belongs to the Empire, but the locals don't seem to care. The land is stark and bare. You can't grow anything here. The people who live here do either two things. They fish or they steal. A lot of them do both. There are no one peoples here. It's all different clans fighting over scraps of land, food, honor, whatever they value. They have no respect for the Empire, no value for what we offer them. Why would they? The soldiers our glorious empire sent to enforce law and order are drunkards, cripples, idiots, and geriatrics. Yes, it seems whatever scraps of useless scoundrels the empire has collected over the years, they send them here. And what does that make me? King of the fools? They sent me here from the imperial court because I kept asking questions, doing things I shouldn't have. And now look at me. You know, there's an old joke in Kaimera. If the Empire wants you to die, you die. If they want you to suffer, they send you to Carion. I arrive on a miserable day, first of the month. There is no party to greet me. Nobody here knows who I am, all but for an elder. He says he's a shaman of a local clan and that he heard of my arrival. He was kind enough to lead me back to the castle, if you call it that, my new home. It was a long, boring walk. The old man talked the entire time, something about how when he was a boy the island was twice the size it was now, but over the years the rain had carved it away, or something like that. I'm not too sure, I was barely paying attention. My mind was on other matters. I've been here a month now, on this accursed island. It's cold and miserable, and above all else, it's dull. Rations are running low, the locals keep raiding from our supply ships. Food is disgusting. I go for a long walk every day, even if it rains, which it often does. I just need to get out of here. I go down the same route every day, down the castle yard, down the hills to the rocky shore of the beach so that I can look out at the sea. On a good day, when it's clear, I can just get a glimpse of my home, oh so far away. I often wonder if it's real or it was just a trick of the mind. I do this very walk one day and I find something. Something truly terrible. I find the body of a young girl. She couldn't be more than 8 years old, and she's lying against the rocks. I have to pull her out of the water to take her back to the castle. It isn't long until she's identified. She's a sailor's daughter, disappeared a week ago on the other side of the island. They bury her soon after. Ever since then, the walk has grown more morbid, but I take it every day all the same. A month later, another body appears on the rocks. Another girl, 8 years old. This one, a local girl. 2 bodies in just over a month. It's too coincidental. Initially, I thought it was the tide. Children are silly, they underestimate the sea, but everyone seems so quiet about it. I began asking questions. One of the guards told me not to worry about it, that they would take care of it. A few weeks later, another body appeared. Now I knew this was no accident. Something was happening. One day I went swimming down by those very rocks, looking for something, anything, I don't know. I dove into the water and I found Skulls. So many more than I could count. I took as many as I could carry back to the castle. I had them examined. They were the skulls of children. Same as the others. Now I knew this was no accident. The murderer must be upon these isles. I commanded the guards to search the island, ask questions. If they followed my orders, I do not know. Either way, they came back empty-handed. At this point, I grew tired of the lack of answers, and so I summoned the clans. I was warned many could not be in the same room as the others. Blood had been spilled on both sides, going back decades, some even centuries, and not even more would be spilt that night. I did not care. This was more important. The clans, who were usually gruff and rowdy, grew quiet upon the words I had to share. The death of children, their children, was a great concern to them. But they were silent and refused to answer my questions. They left one by one, so uncharacteristically disheveled. The elder, the same man who greeted me when I first arrived, he remained behind and spoke to me. He said for my own safety that I should stop asking questions and that I should let it go. They had their ways. They weren't proud ways, but there were ways to survive. And that's all I needed to know. Weeks went by, the wind picked up just as it did the months before. I knew another body would soon be found and that the locals were behind it. I could not trust my own guards. They were compromised. It was up to me and me alone to figure this out. So I followed them. I followed a local girl, watched them all day and night. I saw them leave their home at night with their family, and to my surprise, all the families in the village joined them, marching down the road in utter silence. In hooded cloak, I followed on horse from afar. I traveled far, very, very far, to a cliff's edge where there was hundreds of them. Clans from all around the island, all merged at one point. No violence, no bloodshed, just silence. Then a woman began to cry loudly as her child was dragged forward from the crowd. A little girl, just 8 years old. The girl was still stoic, like they knew what was about to happen. I did not know what was happening until... I saw it. This great beast, hidden amongst the clouds. Its form was gargantuan, its eyes were all I could see clearly amongst the dark clouds. It was... I have no idea what it was. But it was not of this world, nor any I knew of. The winds grew, so too did the voices of the crowd. They began chanting like a most accursed sermon. To my horror, I realized what this was. It was an offering to a dark god. I could not watch anymore. I rushed forward upon my steed, grabbed the girl from where she stood upon the cliff. She was so close to the edge, the wind would have surely made her fall to her death. The crowd screamed and cursed at me, but they were all silenced by the... The beast up above was enraged. I had offended it so. I could not stay, so I ran. They tried to follow me. Many tried to climb upon the horse and grab the girl, but I fended them off. I ran, and I swear I nearly lost them, but I could feel the beast's eyes upon me. I cheated its prize, and then... lightning struck right beside me, almost hitting me. I had made a most powerful enemy that night. I doubted it would miss twice. The next strike struck my steed. We were knocked to the ground. The beast was up high over us. The clans were closing in. I rose to my feet, unsheathed my sword, pushed the girl behind me to glance around me. I said for them to get back, all right? Then a sting, a swarm, was plunged into my back. I could not move for a moment, could not breathe, and then I fell to my knees. Blood began gushing down my back. I turned to look as I saw the little girl walk towards the clan, a bloody knife in her hand. How could she? And I fell to the ground. My breaths grew more faint as I grew colder. All of them looked upon me so pitifully. The beast, its eyes I could no longer feel as, one by one, they all left. Only one remained, the elder, who had warned me to stay away. He stood over me, said that this thing first came to the island when he was a boy. He said when he was born, the island was twice the size that it is now. But the beast, it wore down the rocks with relentless rain and wind, and the rocks disappeared and fell into the sea, and people lost their homes. He said they were desperate, and so they had struck a deal with the beast. This was the bargain. They would trade their youth for just more time. More time. They said in Kaimera that if the Empire wanted you dead, you would be dead. But if they wanted you to suffer, you were sent to Carion. I don't think they realized how true that was.